Ooh, this is top 10 rice importers in Africa 2024. Ooh. Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, South Africa, Senegal, Kenya, Mozambique, Guinea, Niger, Ghana, and Djibouti. What nonsense is this? What the fuck is going on in Africa? You see, also 10 meat importers in Africa 2024. Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria, Algeria, Morocco, Angola, Ghana, Kenya, Senegal, Tunisia. What the fuck is going on in Africa? No nation can rise above its agriculture. It's not possible. If agriculture goes wrong, nothing else will have chance to go right. It's not possible. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we are diving into one of the most critical challenges holding back African agriculture. Limited access to modern technology. Before we start, we all know that Africa is blessed. Africa is the cradle of civilization. Africa is blessed with fertile land, diverse climates, vast natural resources. We have everything that we need in Africa. But Africa relies on imported foods. We are importing everything to our continent. Our farmers are still using outdated tools in the farm. They are using donkey, they are using oxen, they are using basket, they are using hoods in the farm. What the fuck is going on? In this video, you will understand 100% about Africans' agricultural weakness. This is a big series. We will be exploring one by one, step by step. But in this specific video, we will talk about lack of mechanization. Nelson Mandela, he said one day, it always seems impossible until it is done. Our agricultural sector in Africa is so weak. The impossible things is to transform our agricultural sector, to transform our traditional agricultural sector to sustainable farming, to transform our traditional farming to modern farming in Africa. That is our target. The impossible can be possible when the knowledge meets technology. In this video, we will uncover the deep-rooted behind these matters. So, if you want to know everything about agriculture, subscribe so that you will not miss any of my videos. Thank you very much. In this video, we talk about three things. The first thing is we talk about mechanization. What does mechanization mean in farming? This will be in the first part of our video. Our second part, the impacts of mechanization. Our third part and last part will be why is mechanization still so limited in Africa? So, this is the way the story begins. Thank you very much. Our first part, what does mechanization mean in farming? Mechanization, it means to use machine in your farm to do certain tasks in your farm. First of all, you will use machines in your farm to prepare your soil, because you need to prepare very well your soil. Land preparation, you need certain machine to do that. First of all, those machines will help farmers to break his soil, to make soil smooth. It is the first step. To remove weeds in your farm, to make easier water absorption in your farm. First of all, you need to know that. Without those kind of machines, it's not possible. You need a machine like this in your country, in your farm. Not only that, after preparing your land, your farm, second part, you need planting seeds machine. There is a lot of machines, but you need a specific machine in your farm. Those machines will help farmers to plant directly the seed at a good place, good depth, good space. It will help farmers to make easier his labor works. Without those kind of machine, it will be so difficult for you. You need a machine for that. Sometimes they can combine, they can mix fertilizer with them at the same time, like maize farming. Maize farming, you need those kind of machine in your farm. You need a machine for that. Not only that, you need also machine for irrigation system. You will need certain machines in your farm. You will need motorized pumps in your farm, drip irrigation system, solar powered irrigation system. You need all of them. Because if you don't use that, you will lose everything. Today, if you want to get money from agriculture, you need to mechanize. You need to do something. Without that, you will still living in a poverty. It's because of that people are living in a poverty. Yeah, you need to have a good irrigation system in your farm. Without that, nothing. Because it will help farmers. Like if it is a dry season, it will help farmers to cultivate, even if in a dry season, with a good irrigation system. Drip irrigation, you can do without any problem. You need a machine for that. Not only also that, you need also a machine for weeding. You know, weeding is the most difficult challenges in farming. It is so difficult, boring, exhausting. You need a machine for that. Because, you know, in Africa, we used to use our hand, you see, but with machine, it can be easier for people with a machine. So you need to have it. Because with those kind of machine, it will help farmers to remove directly unwanted plants without damaging your plants, your crops. You see, you need machine for that. It's very important. Not only that, you need also machine for harvesting. Threshers, you need all of them in your farm. Without that, you cannot do anything. Because with harvesters and the threshers, they will put together. It will be like one machine in your farm. It can help farmers to separate directly grains from stalks. It can be so easier for them. You need to have a machine for that. You need also machines for transportation in your farm. If you don't have machine in your farm, like farm trucks, also car like this to transport your product, your harvest from fields to storage or to local market, not possible for you. I'm sorry. You need machines for all of them. Without machine, you cannot do anything. So you need to mechanize your agriculture. You need to mechanize your farm so that you will increase your income. It is very important. It is the first step that you need to understand. We can see Africa generally. If you see Africa today, in Nigeria, it has been reported that less than 20% of Nigerian farmers use any form of mechanized equipment. What nonsense is this? It can be difficult. It is because of that we are one of the biggest importers in the whole world. We are importing everything because our agriculture is not mechanized. You see, in Ethiopia, it has been reported that in Ethiopia, people are still using donkey, using oxen, other animals in the farm, plowing or doing other things. You see, you need to mechanize your agriculture. In Burkina Faso, in Niger, in also other countries, the whole Africa, it has been reported that people are still walking 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, carrying the harvest on the head. What no sense this, you see? Because our agriculture is not mechanized. If it is not mechanized, we are still living in a poverty. So, now you know what those mechanization mean in farming. Let's go to the second part of this video. Thank you. The second part is that the impact of low mechanization. If you are not using machine in your farm, what would happen? You are not using machine in your farm, what would happen? First, slow and exhausting labor. It will impact your products. Because today in Africa, we are still using like animal, we are still using hoods in our farm. If it is for plowing, we are still using outdated tools in our farm. That will reduce our productivity. Also, it will impact our daily in agriculture, because agriculture timing, it is very important. Because of that, young people, they are seeing agriculture like a boring, back-breaking, unrewarding thing, because they have been seeing their fathers, their parents doing agriculture without getting anything from that. It's because of that they are running away from the village. They want to go to Europe. They want to go to United States, to America. Why? Because people who are doing agriculture in Africa, they are poor. They don't have anything. You see, it can discourage young people to do agriculture, to choose agriculture. You see, it is because of that. We need people who will show to the new generation that agriculture, it is not just for livelihood. It is for business. So, if you are not using machine, you are using your hand, you are using outdated tools, your labor works will be slow, exhausting. You will spend a lot of money for that. This is the first thing. Second, low productivity. Low productivity. If you are using outdated tools, you are using traditional farming, what would happen? Traditional farming, you cannot do it in a large hectares of land, not possible. Only small plots you can use traditional farming. Apart from that, 10 hectares, 20 hectares, 30 hectares, it's not possible to do it with traditional farming. What will happen? Your yields will decrease. If you were supposed to get 2-3 tons by hectares, if you get maybe sometime like 0.5 ton per hectares. Yeah, because you are using traditional tools in your farm. This is because of that. We need to get rid of all of those nonsense we are doing in Africa, to use machine in our farm. Third, what would happen if you are not using machine in your farm? Delayed farming operation. In agriculture, timing, it is crucial, it is very important, because we are doing all of our thing in a certain period of time. So, if you are not using machine like for harvesting, for threshing, you will lose everything because of climate change. Climate changes, it is disrupting rainfall patterns. You see, because you need to have a specific time for that. If you are using manual tools in your farm, if it is time to harvest, you are using manual tools. If you were supposed to do it in one day, you are going to spend more than 1 week, 2 weeks. You are just harvesting. It means that if it is a dry season, or if it's like a rainy season, you will lose everything. Because of that, you need to mechanize your sector, your farm. It is very important. It is crucial for someone who wants to get money in agriculture. Without that, you cannot get anything. So, also post-harvest losses. If you are not using machine in your farm, if it is after harvesting, you need a machine to separate. Sometimes to separate your grain from stalks. Sometimes you need to do it with machine in your farm. Also for storage, to transport. But in Africa, we are still shelling with our hand. We are doing it with stone. We are doing this with a stock. We are doing it with outdated tools in our farm. It's because of that we are losing. It has been reported that in Africa, many farmers, after harvesting, they lose 20 or 30% of their product because they are using outdated tools to shield. They are using outdated tools. Because of that, they are losing everything. It is because of that. So, you need to understand that without mechanization, we cannot do anything in Africa. We cannot do anything in agriculture. This is the second part. Our last part is, why is mechanization still so limited? The first cause is that high cost of machines, equipment in Africa. If you want to buy machines in Africa, you need to have money because they are not free. You need to spend a lot of money to buy a machine. So those machines are expensive, sometimes $10,000, $20,000, $200,000. We cannot afford it. It is because of that we are not using machines in our farm because we cannot afford. It is expensive. Second, limited access to mechanization services in Africa. It's not possible. You can have machines in your area. Sometimes we don't have machines there because in a rural area in Africa, we don't have sometimes electricity, we don't have roads, we don't have someone who can fix it if it breaks down. You see, it can be difficult for someone to have a machines in a rural area, not possible. Also, to find someone who can hire your machine is not possible. It is because of that people are not using machine in Africa, because it is something which is so difficult for farmers, for a poor farmers to have access to those kind of things. Not possible. Third, lack of financing. What would happen? In Africa, banks refuse to give money to farmers because they say that agriculture, it is a risky business. Not possible. We cannot give someone a lot of money to do agriculture. Not possible. Some people, they want to do agriculture in Africa, but they don't have money. They want to go to banks so that bank can give them loans, but it's not possible. They refuse because agriculture, it is like a risky business. Because of that also, our agriculture, it is so weak. Land fragmentation. I will do another video for this. Land fragmentation. What does it mean? In Africa, people are using small plots. People are using small land for agriculture. It's not possible. Like certain machines, they need, like a big machines, they need 2, 3, 4 hectares. But if you are using small plots, it's not possible. Because of that, machines, it's not like people are not buying machines for that because they don't have land. The land they have is like fragmented. You see, it's like the land they have is like small land. So it's not possible to buy a big machines for that. Land fragmentation. It's one of the roots of Africans' agricultural weakness. Because you can see someone who has like 3, 4 hectares, but in different places. You see, you can come here, you will see just like half hectares. To go to another place, you will have also half hectares. For someone who is using machines, it can be difficult for him because those machines, they need a specific land. They need a big land, a large hectares of land. Otherwise, you cannot use them. You cannot use a machine for small land. It's not possible. It is because of that our agricultural sector is so weak. So, we are at the end of this video. In the next video, we'll also talk about other things. If you want me to continue, subscribe. If you subscribe, I will have energy to continue to create other videos. Because agriculture today, it is not just about having land. It is not just about having seeds. It is today about AI. It is about data. It is about new technology. Because mechanization in agriculture, it is a bridge between poverty and prosperity. A land without tractors, it is a land without transformation. So we need to mechanize our agricultural sector in Africa. We need to do something because in 2050, our population will be more than 2 billions. How are we going to feed a huge population like this? It will be so difficult. This is a right time to do something in Africa. We can do something. We can change the image of our agricultural sector. We talk about a lot of things. So, thank you very much. See you later.